Hi there. Welcome to the Chapter Administrator website training for Site Global. My name is Chelsea Pace. I work for IT here at Site Global, and I have been helping create this new website. So I hope you've all logged in already and started creating your profiles, but that's where we'll start together today. So here I am on the home page, and I'll go straight to the login button. Your username and password should be the same as it was for the previous site. But if for whatever reason you can't remember what that is, you can go to username and or password help and enter your email address, and then you'll receive an email telling you what your username is and letting you know how to reset your password. Since I do remember mine, I'll go ahead and put that in. All right, and the first page that I see when I log in is the Member Center. So the Member Center is a great place for both you and all of your chapter members to see site news. You'll also see upcoming events, including chapter events that you can post yourself, which we'll cover in just a moment. But in order to get to your chapter page, you go into your profile, and then if you scroll down, you can see there at the bottom in community memberships what communities or chapters you have access to. In Socius, which is the platform that we use for the website, community is synonymous with chapter. So for me, it's the virtual group. So I click there, and here is my chapter/community website. Now, this is a page that I have customized up here. This area is all HTML that you can customize yourself. It has some built-in widgets down here with some calendars, a forum, a file library, things like that, which we can help customize for you here at headquarters. And then you also have the ability to view your members, add meetings, add polls, and pull various reports. So right now we will start with how to edit this page. So this top HTML section can be edited by going to your Actions menu and hitting Community Administration. This area is how you will generally run things on your community page. And for now, we're going to edit HTML content. And you can see that we have a default page and something I've called a test page here, which could be anything. The default page is what is going to appear right here at the top of your home page. The test page is a separate HTML page that I can link to from anywhere else on my community page. You see I created a button here for it, and I'll show you how to do that. So back into Community Administration and edit edit HTML content, and you go to edit your default page. Here you have your editor. It's a WYSIWYG editor, which means what you see is what you get. So as you format text here, you should see the changes appear right there on your screen, and it will appear as it will when you post it to the page. You can add photos by going to this button, which looks like a little picture of a tree, and you'll go to the Upload Image section. You can get an image off of your computer, give it a title, and change the appearance. You can add space around it so that your text doesn't butt right up against it. I always like using 10s. You can set a border. I generally set 0. And you can change how big or how small the picture is here. If you put in a number in one, it will adjust on the other side so it won't stretch out your picture strangely. If you need to change the settings on your picture, you can select the picture and just hit that picture button again. For instance, here I'm going to change the alignment so that it's to the right of the text. And you can see now my text wraps nicely around my new picture. If you're proficient in HTML, you can also hit this HTML button and you can see all of the code here and put in your own code. Do note that it does not accept JavaScript just because of the way the platform works. So if you have some sort of widget you needed to put in, you should talk to us about it and we can see if we can accommodate it in some other way. Great, now I've made my change, so I'm going to hit OK. And if I go back to my community page, you'll see that now that picture is live on the site. I will now go back to Community Administration, Edit HTML Content, and we'll look at this other page I've created. So like I said, you can create subpages, which could be for instance, if you have a big yearly event that you would like to have its own page where you can put in pictures and information and post documents, you would create a full page for it. And then you have the option to add a button for the page, which you can do up here. You would just select whichever page you had just created and click Add Button, and it will appear here. You can change in what order those buttons appear via these numbers. If we have more than one, you could do 1, 2, 3, etc. And then you'd hit OK once you're ready to save your changes. Great, so that's the HTML customizable temp section at the top of your page. So let's move on to adding a meeting. You can see that I've got some meetings that already appear here this week. And these are meetings that I created myself and put in the calendar. And they're also ones that will appear on the master calendar. So let me show you how to do that. You go to the Actions menu and click Add Meeting. And here you put in all of your meeting information. So let's say I'm having a cocktail party. I can decide whether I want it to be public or private. Public means that any website user will be able to see it, and private means that only people who are part of your chapter or other people you invite down here will be able to see the event. So this one I'll leave public. I can choose a time zone. We have pretty much any time zone in the world available here. You can choose a start and end date and time, or you can choose a certain duration or say it's just all day on a certain date. You can invite guests from any other chapter or group. If you just want to find a certain member, you can choose organization members, and that'll give you any active site member. You can put in a description and a location. And then you have a few link options. You can link it if you've already got an event page on your own website, you can link it there. If you're using Cvent or some other registration provider, you can link directly to that. Or if the event you were hosting was a webinar, you can put in a link to that and then put in notes about that, a dial-in number, international version, so that they can easily access the information on that webinar. And then you put in contact information for the individual that should be contacted about the event. You also have the ability to attach a document to the event so that if an invite goes out for the event, there is a document attached such as a registration form or a brochure. Note that if you just hit the Accept button, an email will go out to your chapter members notifying them that the event has been created. So if you rather it just appear on their calendar without them receiving, or their associate's site calendar without receiving an email, then you would hit the Accept Do Not Notify button. I use this 95% of the time, and I would advise that you do the same thing. And instead of using the automatic notification, you should just send out your own email with the link to this event. So I'll click Accept Do Not Notify. And if I go back to my chapter, you will see that it now appears here on this calendar. And the meeting that you create will also appear on the main calendar. The test meetings I've created don't currently, but you can, if you go to the calendar events, you'll see that other chapters meetings that they created themselves do appear here. And that will populate automatically upon you creating the event. Great, so I'm going to go back to my chapter page, and now I'll show you how to look at your members. So the easy way to see your members is just to come to your Actions menu and hit View Members. This shows you a very quick list of everyone who's in your group. You could click on one of their profiles and see their My Page, or you can add or remove administrative privileges. So say your chapter administrator has left and you want to give those privileges to someone else. You can see that Ronnie has a red dot here, which means that she is an administrator. But let's say she's left, so I say I will remove admin privileges from her. And I'll go to Blanca's profile, and I will add admin privileges for Blanca. So now when Blanca logs in, she'll be able to do that HTML updating, things like that, that Ronnie used to be able to do. If you'd like to pull a more complicated report than that, if you wanted to pull a list of an Excel document of your members with email addresses and things like that, you would go back to your chapter homepage and go to Admin Options and Community Reports. This is a list of all the reports you can pull, and I would suggest playing around with some of them since it's really interesting to see who in your community, for instance, has been logging in or viewing a calendar item, things like that. But the report you're going to use most is this users report, which is at the bottom. This report allows you to pull the demographic information of your members. It will only pull those who are currently members of your chapter. So those who have expired or who've left your chapter, it will no longer pull. You can pull their name, company, email address, which are probably the most likely things that you'd pull. But you can also pull, for instance, their membership expiration date if you want to know when they expire and warn them that they're expiring. You can also pull who their sponsor was and time zone, things like that. So really any piece of information here you can pull. A quick word of warning, if you try to pull their address, it is hidden. They hide mailing addresses in this system. So if you need a report of mailing addresses for your members, you'll need to contact site headquarters. So I've got who I want here. I can choose an output format of Excel, CSV, HTML, PDF, or Excel XML. For the most part, you'll want an Excel report. And I'll hit Run Report. And now you can see that I've got my list of members for my small little chapter of 3. If you see zeros in someone's expiration, it means they don't have an assigned expiration. In this case, it's because these are Site Global staff members. But you can see that I do have an expiration date here. And it's easy enough to just copy these email addresses out and then send those people an email. This reporting system, you can pull at any time, and it is updated automatically. So once someone pays for their membership and joins your chapter, they will appear immediately upon your list. So you can get your list of chapter members at any time, and it will replace the reports that used to be emailed to you monthly. All right, I think that I've covered all of the chapter administrator activities that you'd need. If you have any questions, you can always contact Site Global. It's site@siteglobal.com, and our staff would be happy to help you out. So thanks, and good luck with the new website.